Rancheros 14 large screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore portable building dealer, Panama City.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of Sports Talk Radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now, we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Thursday morning. It was a breathe in, breathe out, hands up, hands down, and the rest goes from there. Limp Bizkit?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Takes me right back to Woodstock 99.
99,
Things
baby.
got a little out of control. But you are listening to The Inside Drive. It's Thursday. The U.S. Open is underway. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. You can also watch, listen, subscribe, like, share, comment, all those good things on our socials. That's Facebook, X, and YouTube. Just search up ESPN Northwest Florida. If you already follow us, we appreciate you very much. Of course, you can download our free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. That one you do need to search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can also head over to ESPNPC.com. And while you're there, do us a favor. Vote Best of Bay. We've got all three, plus the Braves Dugout podcast in all sorts of entertainment and leisure people categories, starting with DJ Event/Wedding. That's the Coach James Hale Show. I voted for him this morning. You've also got Sam Peebles that slid into that Event Wedding Planner category. And then, of course, the category that we all belong in. We're very thrilled to have 4 programs right here from ESPN Northwest Florida. Out of the 5 nominated, we got David Hayes in the Afternoon Underdogs. We've got James Hale Show. We've got the Inside Drive here. And then, of course, Sam Peebles, the Braves Dugout podcast, all in the radio personality show. And all 4 of us also snuck in there into the TV and personality category as well. But if you feel worthy enough, vote us, vote David's show, vote Coach's show, vote the Braves Dugout podcast. You can do it once per email per day between now and June 24th. We appreciate your support as always. I'm about to drop that link here in the comments of this live Facebook show as well, as I always do. But you can also, again, head over to ESPNPC.com, where if you saw on our story on Facebook and Instagram this morning, the link was right there for you to click and make it happen. David, doing all right today?
Wonderful, my man. Ready for another day of Sports Talk Radio.
There you go. A little sports talk, little fun talk here.
Little flag football later on to cap it off. Cherry on top.
That's it. Be a big day today, no doubt about that. And speaking of a big day, only a few more opportunities. We've got 2 more opportunities today, 3 more opportunities tomorrow, and that is for the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off. Next Monday is ESPN Northwest Florida's 7-year anniversary. And as you already know, because you've been listening, we want to send you up there to Truist Park. If you give us a call, 850-215-6290, right as we're coming out of our 1220 segment, if you're caller number 10, you'll automatically win a sweet qualifying prize. I think Coach Hale stole my qualifying prize sheet list this morning, but I want to say, if I remember correctly, it had a jersey. I think the Swampy Jacks cards are officially done, but maybe a jersey today here.
Rudy's Barbecue.
Ooh, Rudy's Barbecue
Yes,
sliding in there. I like that little brisket action, some good stuff. But the bigger part is you'll be entered to win the all-inclusive trip to experience the Atlanta Braves play the Toronto Blue Jays on Saturday, September 7th. It includes your hotel, spending cash, food and beverage at the games, as well as amazing seats at the Xfinity Club. As you guys already know, and many of our listeners have done this, they've qualified more than one time to give themselves even a better chance to win this awesome prize, which we'll be announcing on Monday, June 17th, the official 7-year anniversary. We appreciate PCB Hobby, Fairfield Inn, and Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive, as well as Home 2 Suites for sponsoring this amazing event. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Great stuff, man. Send them to go watch the Braves. Let's hope that they break that 5-game win streak or losing.
Yeah, I'd say doesn't happen very often. Well, this year it seems to, but yeah, when we get our winner, I want to ask what he thinks the Braves need to do to get out of this clear slump that they are in. Thank goodness they started the season off pretty well.
Yeah, because it has not been pretty in like the last 39 games or so.
Yeah.
But here we are. This is the sport of baseball, and I would rather have a tumultuous regular season and a positive postseason than anything else, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I know you posted on your Facebook last night. We got a little event idea happening.
Yeah.
We're going to bring this thing to fruition. So I figured we throw that in the poll question here today.
Okay.
And just say, if we hosted and, we're working on this thing kind of behind the scenes, and we're definitely going to make it happen. Great idea from David Hayes. But if we did it, would you participate? Nice, simple poll question today, topical with everything going on. Some breaking news came out of the NFL world. It was, they were investigating and you knew something was going to happen. But the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday were docked a 5th-round draft pick in the 2025 draft and fined, I believe, $250,000, which is a drop in the bucket, for violating the NFL's anti-tampering policy related to free agent signings, while the league cleared the Philadelphia Eagles of tampering with their signing of running back Saquon Barkley this offseason. Tampering violations are related to Falcons having improper contact with prospective unrestricted free agent Kirk Cousins, Darnell Mooney, and tight end Charlie Warner during the 2-day negotiation period prior to the start of the 2024 NFL year. The Falcons officially signed Cousins to a 4-year deal worth up to $180 million on the first official day of free agency, 2 days after his agent Mike McCartney announced on social media that Cousins and Atlanta had agreed to terms. While the policy permits clubs to engage with and negotiate all aspects of NFL player contract with a certified agent or any prospective unrestricted free agent during the 2-day negotiated period, any direct contact between the player and an employee or representative of the club is prohibited, the NFL said in the statement. This includes discussion of travel arrangements, other logistical matters, which the club acknowledges took place with regard to these 3 players. During Cousins' opening press conference, he indicated that he had spoken with the team's head trainer before 4 p.m. on March 13th, when the new league year was set to open. In addition to forfeiting the next year's 5th-round pick, the Falcons were also docked $250,000, while general manager Terry Fortunat was fined $50,000. I'm sure that the Falcons fans would have wanted Terry to be fined a little more after a lot of the decisions that had been made in the last 2 or 3 years.
Can you suspend him?
Yeah.
Indefinitely, possibly. Hit him with that Pete Rose band.
Just take his decision-making power away, and that'd be good.
5th-round pick, though, honestly, not bad. $250,000, as you mentioned, dropping the bucket, $50,000 to the GM. That's not too bad. I don't know if this really deters
anything.
Yeah, really.
It's just funny that it had to do with, you signing Kirk Cousins of all people, and then of course drafting Michael Penix Jr. in the first round. So
what a mess.
Yep, was talking to Keith, and Alan was, just digging into the Falcons again this morning. But it kind of, as Keith went through that segment a couple weeks ago with the, if you're just an Atlanta sports fan, it's just kind of par for the course, it seems, for them.
And the Braves are getting ready to do it to you again.
The Braves, just when we thought things were going well with them, it is certainly changed. But
and great. The worst part about it is, for the most part, you're getting some decent starting pitching from the Braves.
Yeah. There's just no offense is what they did last year.
Right, exactly. Like 307 home runs last year, slugging around 500. This year, you're barely touching 300. In the last 10 games, it's probably even lower now. I don't know what the batting average as a team total was last night, but they were 207 going into yesterday's game in the last 10 games. So it's perplexing, man. But again, I'm not too worried about it right now, because I think, one, Alex Anthopoulos has proven himself as a general manager and being able to get the right pieces there. And then two, it's just a long season. And when you got good pitching, sometimes things can change for you. It's just right now they're not one of the top teams in the league. But then again, you look across the league right now when it comes to records, and it's not like there's too many teams that are standing out. The Braves last year were a team that was standing out.
Yeah.
They exited out of the playoffs early last year. So hopefully things are a little different for him this year.
You never know. And it's almost like, obviously Ronald Acuna is a huge asset and NL MVP last year, but it's almost like when he went out, like the rest of the team's like crap. And it seems like when he got to that point, that's when the slump maybe started a little bit, but it shouldn't have affected it.
The slump was already going on.
Yeah. Yeah, he really didn't come out of the gate.
I think that's something that people in their it makes so much sense. Like, oh, you lost your best player, and there might be some validity to it.
But you got 8 of the guys in the batting lineup,
right? There's that. Then also, I mean, the energy didn't seem up from the beginning.
Yeah, it came out a little flat.
Yeah, they did, and they dealt with injuries early on. Like Sean Murphy goes down. Okay, so that affects it. Then Austin Riley goes down. All right, Spencer Strider, second game of the year, he goes out. So it's not just one player. And again, it's not that long ago, 2021, where the Braves won the World Series. And do I got to remind people that before the All-Star game, Ronald Acuna Jr. was not a part of that team because of injury. So it's one of those things where, yes, they are going to have to find their mojo. They are going to have to trade for someone who's that Jock Peterson type player. However, I'm not confident enough to sit here and say that the Braves would be in a much better position with Ronald Acuna Jr. in the lineup.
Going out,
they might be a little bit more exciting, but it's not like he was having a great year.
No,
now, of course he's good enough to turn that around, though.
Absolutely. And sometimes when you come off an NL MVP year, there's higher expectations. So we see that all the time in sports. Once you kind of set that bar so high, it's hard to keep up with that bar. But we talked, I believe it was yesterday, about the breaking news that Joey Chestnut had been banned from the Major League Eating contest.
And
Netflix. Then boom, guess what? Netflix is like, opportunity, I see it, we're going to take it. So it was announced yesterday, and this for them to be able to announce that so quickly after this ban happened, this had to have been in the works already. You just can't you can't have the date when it's appearing and all this stuff without it being kind of in the works. And I think the timing maybe is just coincidental, but we always talk about there's no coincidences in anything. But the greatest rivalry in the history of competitive eating will be resurrected later this year when Joey Chestnut and Takeru Kobayashi face off in a one-on-one hot dog eating contest that will be streamed live on Netflix Labor Day, which is kind of ironic. The normal hot dog eating contest is on 4th of July. So why not take September 2nd on Labor Day and make this stuff happen? Netflix calling it a rivalry shimmering for 15 years. Chestnut versus Kobayashi, unfinished beef. The ultimate hot dog eating competition will air live on Netflix Monday, September 2nd. According to the release, Chestnut versus Kobayashi, unfinished beef. Great title, by the way.
It should have been Glizzy Gladiators, unfinished beef.
Ooh, I like that too.
I can't take credit for that. I was about to say that's comment section.
Okay, that's so
still,
good though.
They were on it.
Yeah, but after losing to Kobayashi in 2005 and 6, Chestnut, a 16-time Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest champion, as we mentioned yesterday, is banned from that this year, and the winner of the event will each of the 8 years famously dethrone the 6-time champion Kobayashi in 2007 and never look back. When the two met the following year, they tied at the end of the competition and went to a 5-dog sudden death eat-off, which Chestnut won. The Kentucky native bested his rival again when they met for the final time in 2009. Through all of my years in competitive eating, Kobayashi stands out as my fiercest rival, Chestnut said in the release. Competing against him pushed me to be so much better. I know the fans have waited a long time for another chapter of our rivalry, and I can't wait for our massive showdown live on Netflix. It's time to give the people what they want. Kobayashi appeared to announce his retirement from competitive eating last month, saying the Netflix documentary Hack Your Health, Secrets of Your Gut. We did watch that, and he did say, that's why I said he's retired and trying to fix his body over the past few decades. However, he could not turn down another opportunity to face his rival again. Retiring for me will only happen after I take him down one last time, Kobayashi said. The rivalry has been brewing for a long time. Competing against Joey live on Netflix means fans all over the world can watch me knock him out. Netflix just, you either love or hate Netflix, but man, they seem to find ways to take opportunities to do things that, people want to see.
Well, so reading the article when this news first broke, this was actually one of the, it was not announced that it was going to be Chestnut versus Kobayashi, but there was a rival hot dog eating contest that Netflix was not, or not Netflix, that Nathan's was not happy about. So you're spot on there that this was already in the works, and I guess Nathan's didn't like it. I think that that's absolutely asinine.
Yeah.
Because you I think build up even more love for Major League Eating.
You're
which
bringing
is your
more
platform.
eyes to it. Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't understand this move by Nathan's Hot Dogs. I guess the biggest question now is, are they going to be eating Impossible dogs or real hot dogs?
I would think real hot dogs in this one, that's for sure. But hey, it's I think it's going to be exciting. And who would have thought? I mean, only in America can you have a Netflix live event with guys eating hot dogs.
Yeah.
See who can eat more. That's all I got to say about that. But it'd be interesting to see. I mean,
I wish that doing something like this, that it wasn't just hot dogs, like have a multi-food competition. If you're just doing mano a mano, like have a best of 3, do chicken wings, do hot dogs, and do
hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, there you go.
I wonder how it became to be hot dogs. Nathan's famous
Probably
hot dogs.
the easiest thing to swallow down.
Yeah, I guess. There's something about dunking a bun in water for me.
That does not do it.
No. I get why, but
What's your favorite condiment on a hot dog? Well, I love water dogs, and I love dipping my buns in the water as well.
Man. Interesting stuff. But I mean, and Kobayashi was, he was kind of booed. He had a tough go there when Chestnut kind of, I don't know if that was a Netflix documentary or not. It might have been, but it
was a 30 for 30.
30 for 30. That's right. ESPN did a one on Kobayashi, and, it affected him when he lost. I mean, that was his identity. That's who he was. And then he was getting booed because an American then started coming in and making some stuff happen. You look like you're about to say something.
Yeah. So legend has it that on July 4th, 1916, 4 immigrants gathered at the very first Nathan's famous hot dog stand in Coney Island and made eating contest history. As the story goes, they were competing to see who was the most patriotic, because what's more patriotic than guzzling glizzies?
I can't think of anything. I mean, you could say, going to bat for your country as a soldier is probably up there. That's pretty patriotic.
Pretty close, right?
But,
1A, 1B action there?
Yeah. Eating a hot dog, though, that's right up there.
Yeah.
That's right up there.
They need to have, instead of make blue mustard, so then you can have red, white, and blue dogs.
Nice. That would be good. Is a hot dog pink, right? Is that
I would consider it pink before it's cooked.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe a beige color.
It's just
a tan Caucasian.
I never really thought about what color a hot dog was until you just mentioned that a second ago.
Yeah, we'll go with a tan Caucasian.
There you go. Kind of a Jay Henley after being out on the range teaching all morning.
There you go. Yeah. He's like one of them roasted dogs.
Yeah. Charred, right? You got to eat charred.
I like it charred. I mean, I'm cool with it not being charred. Sometimes when I throw throw them in the microwave, then I forget about them, and they just like bust wide open.
Yeah, you got to give them the old slice of rooney there. It's like a potato. You got to give it a little poke before you stick it in the microwave.
I had a potato last night.
Did you?
Not just one potato. I actually went to the little Irish.
Potato, 2 potato, 3 potato.
Went to the little Irish place downtown.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Henry's house.
There you go. It's a good house. Been there before.
It was good. Had a little box stick.
Yeah.
First time ever having that.
Look at you.
I mean, it was decent.
Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah, but you're always willing to try new things.
Oh, absolutely. We had
Especially
a
on
great
the
server.
food.
She made it awesome.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. It's nice to hear that nowadays. That is for sure. Couple other quick things here in this first segment. Argentina's Lionel Messi will not play in the Olympics. He said he's not an age to be in everything. Currently, the 36-year-old is set to take part in the country's defense of the Copa America title, while the Summer Games will be kicking off just weeks after the tournament ends. Messi confirmed to ESPN he reached out to Javier Mascherano, Argentina's under-23 coach, to relay his decision. He's he's been very lucky to play in the Olympics before, of winning it together with Mashi, but he's getting older. And he can't, the Copa America is one of the biggest soccer tournaments in the world, or the Copas America is one of the biggest soccer tournaments in the world. So to be able to do that in the Olympics and be away from his club team here in the United States is just one thing. I know that's kind of, some soccer news, but Messi not playing in the Olympics for the first time in the last time I can remember.
It's going to get messy.
Very, very messy.
Is Ronaldo playing for Portugal?
I would think so. I haven't seen anything different. I bet on, they had a game over there at Camping World Stadium last night, USA versus Brazil.
Oh.
It was.
Did we get rocked again?
No, and I had, this is why Brazil didn't win, because I bet them. It's kind of like if Scotty Scheffler doesn't win, but they tied.
Scotty doesn't win. It's Brian's fault.
Exactly. It's like the obvious. I mean, Brazil has, I think, beaten the United States 18 out of 19 times on U.S. soil. But Brazil scored early in that one. And then Christian Pulisic had a great free kick goal to tie it up in that first half. And then Brazil finished with 24 shots, including 11 on goal, but ended up in a 1-1 draw, which for us is kind of like a win.
So when you bet 1-1, exactly. That is.
You can either bet Brazil, United States, or a draw.
So if it draws, though, you
lose.
out.
But because the draw is an option to pick.
Because in the NFL, though, if you pick winner and they tie, then I don't know. I've never bet on a game where it ended in a tie.
Yeah, I think it would have to look at house rules on different books. But I'm not sure. It might just void the bet.
That's what I was thinking.
Because you can't bet it to be a tie.
Yeah.
In soccer, you can bet it to be a tie.
But I wonder if there is that option now on Hard Rock, with just there being so many options for everything these days.
Absolutely. And I'm tired of Hard Rock telling me to bet on table tennis. I don't know anything about table tennis.
I'm 1 for 1 in table tennis.
Are you? 100%?
1 for 1, yes.
Nice.
So I didn't do it again. So I picked one that had, plus odds, and it was very close. So the guy's down in like the third set. He's down like 8-5. So they got him at like plus 250 or plus 350. And the cool thing about with those table tennis bets is you can watch it. You can turn the stream on.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, I gotta do this, man. Like, let me get my Asian on, And
all right, Max.
And no, it was actually 2 white people playing. I don't know from what country they were because their last names were not typical American last names, but that's the great country that we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1 for 1 there.
There you go.
In table tennis.
They push it hard on Hard Rock, I will say.
It's all over the place.
It's like, hey, every
And
morning
darts.
they're like, table tennis. Here, bet on table tennis. We'll give you a free bonus bet. Da-da-da-da-da.
My degenerate friends are always darts.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what?
Darts is tough because they're so good. Like, there's not a lot of delta, but I mean, they're like triple 20. Like, they're so good at it.
I want to add, I think we're going to have one that's called Dave's Decathlon.
Yeah.
It'll be 10 events, and one of those will be how many points can you get throwing 3 darts, and then you would subtract that by 200. So, because you can't get more than 200 with 3 darts.
Yeah.
And so with that, then you would subtract that from 200 and then add that to their score.
Nice.
I got some pretty good ideas.
I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be awesome. And we'll give you more information as we continue on with that. But we got to go ahead and take a quick break. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
I do not believe this is a difficult finals to explain. Number one, why I picked the Celtics in 6. they've got a much deeper roster, especially offensively. They just got more guys that can score 22 points. Secondly, Kyrie is projecting that it doesn't bother him. Clearly it does.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, likely thunderstorms and mostly sunshine, and a high of 89 with a gentle breeze at 8 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest. For tonight, clear skies and a low near 77. Tomorrow, sunny and a high around 93. For Saturday, sunshine and a high of 91. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
That Boot Store has the perfect Father's Day gift for that special dad. Select from one of the largest collections of Western wear and Carhartt work clothes in the Panhandle. That Boot Store has been in business for 60 years and feels they've just begun. Shop That Boot Store this Father's Day and every day. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Burr Kia, 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store where God is good all the time.
You hear it first. Sports talk right now. Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
I know it seems a bit overwhelming at first.
Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
Something makes me think you'll get used to it.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
This one needs to be added to our playlist for sure. This one just gets me going. A little click, click, boom there, Jay Henley. Back in studio, fresh off the junior camp.
Uh-huh.
A lot of concentration from the kids this morning going on?
Yeah, the heat is on, baby.
It's tough when it gets hot, I know the kids lose focus.
They do.
And that
Coach Jay loses focus.
Yeah, well, absolutely. No, Coach Jay never loses focus. Never. Never. I think I called it, though. He's about the color of a properly cooked glizzy.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay Glizzy.
A little charred on the outside.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
Not too charred, though.
That's all right.
Just enough for that flavor, that little burnt flavor.
Yep. I got some Cherokee Indian in me, so I it's...
We can tell.
Yeah.
You get dark.
Yep.
Looking good.
Thank you.
I feel like that's one of white people's favorite things to say when they get tans. Like,
100%.
Look at that Indian to me, brother. I can walk barefoot through the woods and no one will hear me.
That's right. I can hunt anything.
Oh, goodness. What's going on with you guys?
Now we've been talking hot dogs.
Oh.
Yeah, because you weren't here yesterday when they, Joey Chestnut, you know who he is.
Yeah.
He got banned because he's got a sponsor from Impossible Foods. Well, then Netflix announced yesterday after evening that there's going to be a Netflix live event where Chestnut and Kobayashi face off against each other.
Ooh.
So that's why we're talking about hot dogs.
So one of those guys, like Nathan's, is no longer his sponsorship or something like that?
Well, I don't think Nathan's was ever his sponsor.
Oh, okay.
But the Major League Eating is sponsored by Nathan's Hot Dogs, and he's now, which is stupid because who cares if you got a sponsorship from a competing company? He is the face of Major League Eating, and you're not going to have him there?
Yeah.
So Netflix is like, ooh, opportunity.
Uh-huh.
So there you go. Bringing Kobayashi out of retirement.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hot dog eating contest to the death.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait.
Absolutely. One more thing about Netflix before we jump into some other things is I forgot that this was coming out, and I believe it's coming out July 10th, and that is Netflix Receiver. The official trailer got released. It was either this morning or yesterday, and I loved the quarterback one, and I think the receiver one's going to be even cool. I believe it's Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, George Kittle, and Deebo Samuel all in the they're following, they've been filming them and all that stuff. The only sad part, again, is there's another Netflix football documentary where it's going to end up the Niners losing in the Super Bowl. It's tough.
Wow. Was it one of your boys on the EA Sports game or something like that?
The EA Sports, I mean, technically he is right there. Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah, we talked about the Madden cover, yeah.
Okay, y'all did get that.
Yeah, we talked about the curse at length and all that stuff.
So what is the curse, by the way?
It's when you're on the Madden cover, you were doing really good, and then you're on the cover, and then you either get hurt or you're just you go.
So it's not a team thing; it's an individual.
It's an individual thing.
Okay,
Absolutely. And if we want, I've got some more stuff on that. Curse, is it real related to fantasy football point scoring? But we'll probably skip that for today.
I got you.
As we got a lot of other stuff to dive into. I'm gonna put you on the spot right off the jump.
Oh boy!
Today starts in a T. Normally it starts on Tuesday. You weren't here on Tuesday. What do we do on Tuesdays?
Oh man, Doc A.
Yeah, but he wasn't here, unfortunately.
Jay's golf tip of the week.
I'll ask you a question. How about that?
Okay.
And I didn't even plan it. I'm
All
just
right.
going to think off the top of my head.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. You're playing in the U.S. Open. Pinehurst number 2.
Okay.
You got a tight pin, very elevated to get to it. If you leave it short, it's going to roll all the way down. If you go 15 feet fast, it's going to roll off the other side of the green. Very tight lie. You're about, let's say, 20 yards away from the flag. What would you tell somebody how to execute that shot?
What does my lie look like?
It's tight. They're all closely mown.
Okay.
You know?
High and tight like your buzz cuts.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Is it a flat lie?
No. Did you listen?
You said something about
You're down.
Okay, I'm on a downhill lie.
No, you're not on a downhill lie. You're slightly uphill at the bottom.
Okay.
Because a downhill lie, that would legitimately make the shot impossible.
So if it's not a flat lie, would you call that a thick or a curvy lie?
Uphill or downhill lie. Or a side hill lie.
And
although Jay likes a curvy lie.
Yeah,
Bottle shake.
An apple
Yes,
bottom
sir.
cheese.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to focus here.
Regroup.
Regroup. I'm trying to focus.
I know we distracted you there.
So a tight pin over a bunker.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Pinehurst number 2. Brutal greens, elephants, Volkswagens, all that stuff.
Right.
The pin is at the top of a little apex. You're down on the bottom. You've got about 10 feet of kind of flat green to work with. If you leave it short of that 10 feet, it's coming back down to your feet. If you hit it 10 feet past the flag, it's rolling off to the other side.
I got you.
What are some options you would give people to hit this shot?
All right, so you're going uphill. This is where imagination comes into play.
This is what these guys are facing as we speak.
Yeah, and what you got to do is you got to imagine that pin is about 15, 20 feet further than where it currently is. You got to trick your brain into basically being like, all right, I got to get this up the hill, number one. If you're putting it, I think you're going to see a lot of Texas wedges this week where you're
So would you
putting it.
suggest putting it?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best margin of error.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you got 10 or 15 feet to play around with, and what you're saying is it could slope to the other side, or
If you
it
hit
could
it
come
just
back.
a little too far, it's gone. If you're just a little too short, it's right back at your feet.
Man.
That's what these guys are facing. And this, hearing you talk about it shows how difficult of what they're dealing with right now. And I was even watching I don't typically watch live from the Masters or live from the U.S. Open, but I was watching yesterday, and they were following Harry Higgs around.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, you got a lot of grain to deal with as well. So when you're going into the grain on these chips as well, you can get caught up a little bit,
right,
and you can have it a little chunky. So he was even saying, like, you have to lift up a little bit where you're bottoming out the club, almost kind of catching it thin on purpose so you don't get caught up in that grain.
Well, I think amateurs fall in love with where the flag stick is, and you've got to go ahead and pinpoint where your landing spot is, and you have to imagine how that ball is going to react once it rolls out.
Great point.
Yeah, that's just something I would have to do, is just kind of imagine what that ball is going to do, find me a landing spot, and then just be an athlete from there.
I think it's that was probably one of the best points you've made in a while. Is amateurs get caught up with you're hitting the ball to where the flag is,
right?
Which is not true.
Nope,
ever. Unless you're
you're Phil Mickelson, where you flop
you just
it up there.
nip it, or you're David Hayes and you just flop around the golf course all the time. But we're not all that talented,
right?
So we've got it.
Good luck.
Yeah,
practice can't even get you as good as this.
That's true.
You guys
That's
have seen
true.
it.
That's just raw talent bleeding out of his skin.
Yeah.
But and I saw this in quite a few of the practice rounds. Guys were putting, when they were off the green chipping, and they'd hit their shots in, multiple shots, hit a few putts, but then come off the greens because they know they're going to be hitting a lot of shots from off the greens. They'd put a tee where they want the ball to land, because that's the spot they're trying to hit based on the reaction that the ball will have afterwards. So that, summing up this whole conversation, I think your tip of the week this week is, even on any golf course, when you are chipping from around the greens and you got tough pins and stuff like that, pick a landing spot, execute that landing spot. Don't go for the flag.
Right.
Because if you hit it to the flag, it's likely going to go past.
At
Now, if you're
least.
playing greens that are, running a 7 or 8 or something like that, you can be a little more aggressive because the ball's just not going to roll out as much. But good tip there.
Thank you for the question, because I would have been dead air there.
I knew we were going to put you on the spot, so I kind of had something working.
Thank
and it's
you.
topical because the U.S. Open's going on right now. Lots of coverage, too.
There is. Is there a guy named Pavone that's
I don't know. Some weirdo on our show picked him yesterday. And, I think he's currently tied for the lead with Patrick Cantlay but he's through 14 holes.
Wow.
Pretty good start for the Frenchman.
It's early.
It's very early. Yeah. And the thing about Augusta National, sorry, I just went back 2 months. The thing about Pinehurst number 2 is you are a chip from making a double bogey at any moment, any time on this golf course. But that's why these guys are so good. But like Koepka, I think he had got it to at one point 3 under par, and now he's made 3 bogeys in his last 4 holes. So he's kind of back to even par. But again, no one's going to win this tournament, getting to 8, 9, 10 under par. And if they do, wow. It's about holding on.
It is.
And Thursday and Friday is just about not giving up the big ones and maintaining your spot so you can start to kind of push a little bit on the weekend. But I think maybe in a couple segments from now, Jay, we'll dive into a little live streaming and try to do what we did with the Masters.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I had fun
be.
doing that. We can add some fun commentary into it. But a lot of good stuff. But amateur Neil Shipley, who played in the Masters, it's currently 2 under par through 14. He was also on the Ohio State team that lost to Auburn in the semifinals. But Neil Shipley, if you remember, he's the only amateur to make the cut at Augusta, and he got to play with Tiger in that one round and was low amateur for Augusta. So he's obviously playing some good golf, and he's got a great start. I mean, you can't win it in the first round, but you can certainly lose it in the first round. That is for sure. All right. I know you didn't, but we'll talk about it. NBA Finals Game 3. Do you know what happened?
I watched a little bit of it. Yeah, I did. I feel like Dallas was a better team last night, and I feel like the officials were more on Boston's side.
You sound like Luka.
Yeah, well...
Crybaby Luka.
Going back to that,
now we're starting to see what I've been talking about for 2 or 3 years now, but it just takes seeing him in the finals to see all of this. He's wonderful, right? But when it comes down to nitty gritty, like we need the most out of you, you ain't getting that out of Luka because he's one of those crybaby type athletes, which is no shame towards him. Like there's plenty of those type of athletes out there, just not the type that you want your kids to be like.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Continue with your analysis.
I just felt like
Jay, I'm passionate about
it's
that.
cool. It's cool. I felt
everybody's
like
talking about it today, so they just didn't pay attention to David Hayes the last couple of years.
Right. I did feel like he posted up, and that was not a defensive. What's the word I'm looking for? Foul.
It's a blocking foul.
It was an offensive foul. I think it was an offensive foul. And
did it matter though?
I mean, they came.
It was
back.
kind of close at that point.
Yeah,
it was.
Oh, I know.
It was, and they were down like 10 or 11 at late in the game and got it back to. I think they tied it at one point late in the fourth.
I know they were up 21 at one point, and of course
then they brought it back to like 4 points or so, and because it was getting intriguing at the end. Like finally, we watched 45 minutes for this.
Right.
I did one of those NBA single game parlays where you get a bonus bet if you didn't get it right, and I thought I was going to get this one finally because I took Kyrie over I think 23.5, and he was due to score some points. He did fantastic. I think he ended up scoring 32, 33, something like that. But then I took Drew Holiday over 13.5, and he only scored 9 points. And I did another one, but you get the kickback bet. So, but when you lose that one too, then it's like you're losing the bet. But it's a 2-for-1. You get
just kicking it right back to Hard Rock.
Yeah, that's it. Making them some money for that Seminole Indian tribe.
There you go.
Hey, just like you, trying to help them out.
That's it. Yes.
You're welcome, Jay.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But one of the writers there for ESPN, Windhurst, he said in Luka's Game 3 performance, he said, completely unacceptable. No one can tell Doncic anything. Not teammates, not coaches, not executives, not media, not fans, not referees. There have been a lot of pleas and promises that he'll improve, but no one is going to leave a mark. He is truly a brilliant player, once in a generation, but he is going to have to look in the mirror and confront his weaknesses before he is on the other side of a finals. His defensive effort in these finals has simply been crushing to his team. His complaining to the referees is painful painful, and his frustration fouls probably just cost his team a chance at making this series because he fouled out. He is one of the biggest stars in the league, and that means he's held to a higher standard, especially at this level. He's failed to meet it in this game, and he's going to have to deal with it whether he likes it or not. So basically, what David Hayes has been saying for years. He's an unbelievable basketball player, could be one of the best in the world, but being the best basketball player isn't the only thing. It's all the intangibles that come with it as well that he needs to work on.
Yeah, and Luka didn't lose this game. Dallas Mavericks lost this game, right?
Now they lost the series because it's never happened in NBA history.
Yeah, coming back from 3 down.
Nope,
there's no way.
Never happened.
Yeah.
And I almost, for Boston fans, I almost hope the Mavs steal one here in Game 4, and then they can go home and win it in front of their home fans.
Makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'd be cool for Boston fans.
Yeah, be their 18th NBA championship if they win this one.
Yeah.
So, Boston fans are spoiled.
Yeah, well, not recently. I mean, have they?
Spoiled.
Recently, they've had, in the last 20 years, I'll say recently, they've had a lot of championships between football, basketball, the Boston Red Sox, Boston Bruins.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've had a lot. I think more than any other city combined with all those than in the last 20 years. That's for sure. Baston. You're so good at that. You're so good at that. Oh, man, Jay, it's good to have you here for most of the time.
Back.
No doubt about it.
Good company, air conditioning. It's great.
Air conditioning. It works. It's nice.
Yep.
Yeah, getting a little breather. You got any lessons this afternoon?
I'm going to try. Hey, look, I can't go make a fool of myself next Saturday in this qualifier for the State Open, so I got to grind it out. I got to go.
You got to go practice?
I got to go practice.
Man.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I got to get out there and grind.
Practice.
That's what I tell the kids. It's like what you get into, it's what you get out of it.
What you get into it is what you get out of it.
What you put in.
Yeah, what you get in, what you put in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Different verb there, but
there were 3 letters.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Amen, brother.
That's true.
Got it half right.
Yeah. Hey, it would have worked in Scrabble. When's the last time you played Scrabble?
It's been a while.
I feel like Scrabble wasn't your strong suit growing up.
I love Chuck Woolery, though. God, Chuck was so... He did the Scrabble back when Scrabble was an actual game on show.
On TV.
On TV. But yeah, Scrabble, the board game.
Yeah, I'd never watched Scrabble on TV.
I'm deadly at that Scrabble.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I am.
I would imagine that because
you're one of those guys that's like, maybe this is a word, and then you flip out that huge Scrabble dictionary, and they're like, yeah, filibuster, that's a word.
Yep.
And
I remember having the blue yellow dictionary, the Webster. You remember the old paperback one? I remember having that next to us as we played Scrabble.
Well, Scrabble, I think, maybe it was an add-on that you had to buy, but Scrabble had their own dictionary too, because Scrabble defines some words as words and some as not.
That's right. But
you couldn't go in there thumbing through the dictionary looking for a word and then play.
Yeah,
it.
well, yeah.
That's not how it works.
No,
we had Google for that.
Yeah,
we used Urban Dictionary.
Right. There's some good ones in there.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Like pumpkin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll go ahead. Sweetie. We'll go ahead and take a quick break as it is 11:40. When we get back, we'll talk about some fun stuff, maybe some more golf action, and then see what Jay has for our afternoon delight debrief. Maybe talking about somebody that we know, you don't know him personally, but you know a family that knows him personally, Parker Bell.
Oh, yeah, and he made the first birdie of the whole entire tournament this morning.
I know it.
How about
That's
that?
exciting stuff. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
Drew Holiday, his role is anything you need on a given night, he'll do. You need someone to go out and score you 20 points, he'll do it. You need someone to shut down your best player, he'll do it. You need someone to be a great leader, great attitude guy, great glue guy, all that stuff, he'll do it. He's a roles player. He's not a role player. And he is as important to that team as anyone.
Greeny. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Stop by Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off Super Paint products and Super Deck stains from June 14th through the 24th. It's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Suffer from political talk radio fatigue?
We know that under the 49% rate, the U.S. economy is
Tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Dave has been on fire today with the intro songs. 2 Limp Bizkits and an Eminem. Ooh, I feel like
the other one was Saliva. Click, click, boom is Saliva.
That's Saliva. That's right. It was on my. I remember burning that one on a CD one time. We used to play a lot of hockey in the driveway.
Yeah.
So we'd have to have specific play, just like we do nowadays.
Right.
But except you had to put it on a CD, you had to go on LimeWire, legally download it, put it on a CD, hope your computer didn't get a virus, and then hoped it worked.
I don't know about hoping your computer didn't get a virus.
It had it.
Hoping that it took a while till you noticed it.
Yeah, it didn't shut down with the old blue screen of death.
Hey, now, did you have the tape that actually went into the tape player that connected to your CD player or your Discman?
I had one of those, and then it upgraded to like it was the tape, and then it was like you would plug that into your phone and play the MP3s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I had the little Walkman type deal.
Yeah, that was cool, man. We thought
hit
that
a bump, it skips.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, unless you bought the shockproof one.
Yeah.
I remember listening to Walkman on the way to hockey games in the bus, my little CD player.
That's crazy.
What about when you had the headphones? You know, they were like kind of like the over the ear, but they kind of just slipped over the ear.
Yep, I had those, and I hated them because I just don't like that feeling.
Right.
But now, shoot, you got earbuds now.
I do have AirPods.
Wireless, son.
I know.
Yeah,
no
wireless.
wires.
It's crazy.
Doesn't even make sense. They connect magic and all kind of stuff like that.
I know. It's like it knows that it's 6 inches apart from you or something like that. It's like it knows that they're in your ears.
You just tossed up a softball that I'm just going to leave down.
Tell me.
No, I was going to say that 6 inches in yours is a little easier to get
Oh,
through. You asked.
I felt it coming.
Yeah.
Is that 6 inches?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, I got a measuring stick. Hold on.
Yours is probably a little different than everybody else's.
I got you.
But anyway,
it is.
There you go. There you go. Do you know, a little fun fact about this U.S. Open in the United States Golf Association, who puts on the U.S. Open? This is the 1,000th USGA event in their history. The 1,000th USGA National Championship. Started in 1985 with the U.S. Amateur, and here we are now in 2024 with the U.S. Open. You know, they got the 4-ball championship, they got the mid-am, they got the women's am, they got the senior am, they got the senior. They got a ton of championships, and it's really cool. But this is the 1,000th USGA championship at Pinehurst No. 2.
That's crazy.
That's why it's the home of golf now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
just a great place to play some golf. But it is rocking and rolling as we speak. Quick leaderboard update. Your boy, Jay, is still leading the golf tournament. He is tied for first with Patrick Cantlay, and that's Matthew Pavone, followed by, did you pick Tony too? Tony Finau?
I did.
What?
I think so.
Hold on, let me pull this up. This is getting crazy now. Let's see. Jay Henley. No, you did not take Finau. Nobody took Finau, actually.
Interesting.
You've got DeChambeau, Henley, Hovland, Clark, McIntyre, and Pavon. And Pavon, like I said, is currently...
And he was my last pick?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And we criticized you for that last pick.
Yes.
But we criticize you for a lot of things.
That's right.
Eventually, one of those things is going to be...
That's it. That's the way it works.
Yeah, absolutely. You keep throwing enough stuff at a wall, eventually something will stick.
That's right.
Tony Finau and Ludwig Aubert, one of my favorite names to say, and just one of my favorite young golfers coming up. Both -3 through 16 holes. Cousin Russell, also -2, tied for 5th. The amateur, as I mentioned, Neil Shipley, currently 2 under par through 14. S.H. Kim, -1. Corey Connors, the Canadian, -1. Sergio Garcia is done with his round. 69 for the round today, -1 for the tournament. Great start for the LIV Golf player who got in on an exemption to play in this U.S. Open.
Unbelievable.
There you go. Eduardo Molinari, hadn't heard that name in a long time. He's -1 through 13. Asaya Salinda, don't know who that is, -1 through 12. You got 3 other guys at -1. One of those, Davis Thompson, you may know that name. So currently only 13 guys under par. The afternoon wave has not kicked off yet. Neil Shipley, that stinks. He just made a double bogey and dropped back to even par. So
predict a high score of the day. What do you think?
I can tell you right now, Phil Mickelson has got that on lock, and as he is +9 through 17. God, Justin Thomas, he is second to last at +8 through 17.
Roll Tide, baby.
Roll Tide, indeed.
Love it.
He's still sad about Auburn winning their first national championship. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to play terrible golf.
Not sad, just disappointed.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, you know who played better than Phil Mickelson? Justin Thomas and Sahith Theegala. Man, I picked him in a little group par 3 thing. That stinks. But Parker Bell, the amateur, he is done with his round. He shot 7 over 77. Pretty good stuff there. He's from over there in Tallahassee, Florida, and he's kind of connected to somebody you teach here locally, right?
Yeah, Cade, the Deneke family, Cade Deneke. I think that's his cousin.
Okay.
So, but Parker plays at UF.
Yeah.
And then obviously made it through the sectionals, made it to the U.S. Open.
And made it in a playoff, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the
maybe.
sectionals.
I'm not sure.
Don't quote me on that. I thought I might have saw that.
But they're up there celebrating with him and, just walking along. And I want to say that he got paired. I got a text from Cade the other day that he was paired in the practice round with Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, okay. All right. So that, I mean, how cool is that, right? I mean, just to be able to play 18 holes with Scotty at an Open like that, man, that's everybody's dream, I would think.
No doubt about it, that's for sure. So, yeah, high rounds right now. Phil Mickelson and Matteo Manassero are both +9, and Justin Thomas and, Rakayo Hishino are both +8. Justin Thomas birdied his last hole of the day to finish his round of 77 there. What do you think, Justin? I mean, you think he's going to get back to it at any point? I mean, he had some shines of greatness here, but ever since that he won that PGA championship, it's just been tough sledding for JT.
Or what about when Polo dropped him? I don't know. I mean, that was yikes. It can be.
It could be. Yeah. Well, he should always remember he's on a hot mic and.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say certain things, man. It's when you're a professional athlete, that's a responsibility you live in.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And golf's very frustrating, so easy for that to happen. Tiger Woods, although was leading the golf tournament a little early on, as he was 1 under. So he started on the back 9. He birdied his first hole of the day, and he ended up finishing, let's see, he's got one. He's on his last hole. He's on the 9th hole, which is his 18th hole, the par 3, currently at +4. So he was doing good there for a while. But it's just a big golf course and a tough golf course, and good effort there from Tiger early on, but it's just gonna be tough. I think it's just gonna be always tough for him to compete on these golf courses.
I mean, old Tiger, he always prowled on Thursday. I mean, he was always a few over whatever. Like he always sat in that 30th, 40th position, and his moving day back in the day to me was Friday. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, and back in the day though, so one of those things. Back in my day. But yeah, so we'll keep you updated on on that. We may have some fun live scoring action in our 12:20 segment. Frederick Kettrup, I believe he's turned pro for this event after finishing up over there at Florida State. Not about an opening round of plus 272. Got him at tied for 34th right now. Trying to find some of the other names. A lot of amateurs having some good rounds as we speak. I think even par right now, Jay. Before you teed off, if you could take even par, would you take it?
Oh, absolutely.
I think so. Yeah. I think right now even par's got you tied for 14th, but probably by the end of the day going to be a little bit higher than that, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Or lower, however you look at it. Even par, good score.
Yeah, we were talking the other day, Ryan. Steve Wiley had come up with a great scenario situation, and we'll throw this into Pinehurst, but he was talking about Augusta National, and you take somebody like a 10 handicapper and put them at the very front of every green or the furthest away from the hole, right?
Yeah.
On the edge of a green. Could you win the Masters just from there?
And what type of handicap?
Let's call it a 10 handicap. Could they win the Masters?
From how far in front of the greens?
The longest point of the green from the hole. So all you're doing is putting. And my question would be, I think Pinehurst may be even more difficult than Augusta National's greens. Could a 10 handicapper win the U.S. Open, just putting?
Give me the final score of the U.S. Open, then I'll give you an answer.
2 under.
No, I'm going to say no.
No,
because probably a 10 handicap is a great handicap, but that's that borderline area where you probably can drive the ball really well. You've got a decent iron game, but your short game is probably where your biggest opportunity to make a leap is. Because as your handicap gets lower, it's the putting and the chipping that seem to bring your score down. Because the lower your handicap gets, the harder it is to continue to get lower. Right. So I'm going to say probably the weakest part of their game would be the short game area, and I don't know. It'd be tough. Par 5s, let's hope you could get down in 4 for a birdie, but the par 3s and then some of these par 4s, it may be tough to get down in 2 or even 3 on the par 4s.
Well,
because you've never ever seen anything like this typically as a 10 handicap.
And they're turtle back, so you're going to be putting, at the bottom of these hills, and a 10 handicapper may get it to the apex of the green and then bring it
right back down. Or you hit it too hard, it goes off the other side.
Exactly.
You saw a lot of that this morning. I was watching some of the coverage, and there were some deep flags, but the guys know where to miss, because Pinehurst is all about knowing where to miss, because you've got to leave yourself an opportunity then for par, and if you miss in the wrong spot, par is completely out of the window. And Justin Thomas earlier made a bogey on a par 5, and there's only 2 of them, and you cannot make bogeys on par 5s and have a shot to win in these tournaments. So but cool to see the Deneke family up there traveling to watch Parker Bell play some golf, and I didn't expect anything fantastic out of him, but I mean, I'm saying if you go up there and play your first U.S. Open on one of the toughest venues in golf and you shoot 7 over, that's pretty peachy in my opinion. So,
well, and I think at it from Cade's standpoint, the kid's 14, and we've talked about Cade. He's a great one of the best basketball players in the area, in my opinion, and
for his age,
and this right here could be an opportunity. Just seeing his cousin in a U.S. Open could be a game-changing situation where he decides that, hey, look, I want to try this golf thing, and try to, go to college and, do something with it. So I think it's pretty cool that his cousin's up there playing in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, and it's cool they made a trip to go watch him. That's
Absolutely.
for sure. And, but Pinehurst is a great venue to watch golf. It's tough to get around there and watch just because the golf course is kind of spread out. Now they have so many of the natural areas with the wiregrass and all that. But a fun spot, that's for sure. You can see the build out they did for this thing and the stands and all that. Pretty awesome. We'll have Alan Sandage live from the U.S. Open tomorrow, which would be cool. I think he's either already there or maybe not there. Before we go to our break, Jay Henley, another fun fact. I love fun facts.
Yep.
Texas A&M and Texas will play for the first time in 13 years coming up here in this season. And somebody was looking on, this was either StubHub or one of those ticket resale sites, and a gentleman had listed a ticket on the 50-yard line for a little over $100,000 per ticket, costing you, it looks like, $208,000 for 2 tickets. Probably just kind of silly, but
a regular season game?
Yeah, but it's the first time Texas A&M and Texas have played in 13 years. 2 tickets for over $104,000. It's a real screenshot, too. It's not fake.
Good.
Might be a fake thing that he put out. Well, not fake. We obviously put it out there, but, kind of just joking there. But, that's some of the things that's going to be coming up here in this season. You got some rivalries renewed, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
Texas football, that's where it's at. It's big over there.
It is. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yes, it is.
Except the Dallas Cowboys trophy case.
Oh!
They got 5. I'm sorry. It's just been a while.
Jimmy Jones, Ryan Mulvey apologizes.
I don't.
I
don't apologize. I've heard what Cowboys fans have said to me.
I got you.
I know. We haven't won one either in a long time, 94, but we've been there a few times.
Yeah.
Got to get Hefner back. What's he been doing?
Man, I got to get, he's laying low.
Yeah,
he's laying low.
He's, witness protection program.
Yeah.
Laying low.
He just bought a house in Costa Rica, so I'm sure.
You just ousted him.
Yeah.
Witness protection. Oh, he just bought a house in Costa Rica. Yeah. That's where he is.
Right. Hey, if I bought a house in Costa Rica, that's probably where I would be. But yeah, I need to follow up with Hefner and let's get the Cowboys back.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun when they were down here in studio.
Yeah, I know.
What's the other gentleman's name? I forget.
You had Andrew.
That's right, Andrew with the high school Columbus
in LaGrange.
It's kind of close to Columbus.
Close to Columbus. And then who else did we have on? I want to say Andrew kind of stole the show with the whole football thing.
Yeah, but we had Hef, and then we're
Andrew.
We're friends on. These are your friends. You should know this.
I can't remember who was with Andrew.
It's okay. You don't have to because we got to go to a break. But you're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay Henley in the house. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
We were the city of all the franchises most recently that have finished bridesmaids. And a lot of people were giving us gripe about that. Look at Philly fans. Oh, they're finishing second again. Well, we finished second. Where were you at? You weren't even in the championship game, were you? So shut your ass.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, likely thunderstorms and mostly sunshine and a high of 89 with a gentle breeze at 8 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest. For tonight, clear skies and a low near 77. Tomorrow, sunny and a high around 93. For Saturday, sunshine and a high of 91. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-932-1176. 800-932-1176. 800-932-1176. That's 800-932-1176.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions. Your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the beautiful Forgotten Coast. You can also watch live all that good stuff on Facebook, X, and YouTube. And you can download that free mobile app. Jay, where can you download it?
Google Play or Apple Store.
There you go. One of those, and you just search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, and you've got us right there. You can also go to ESPNPC.com Follow Inside Drive on TikTok for all of our fun stuff there while you're at ESPNPC.com. Jay, what do they got to do?
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. They got to search that up.
For the Google Play in the Apple Store. But when you go to ESPNPC.com, you don't really know because you've been teaching a lot of kids lately. Yeah. What are we trying to get to people to do right now?
They're trying to win tickets to see the Atlanta Braves.
That is also a fact, but that is a call-in contest.
Sign up for KHS TV.
We haven't said that one in a while. You can do that there as well. But what can you do at ESPNPC.com that we're trying to make happen for the first time?
Vote.
There it is. If you go to ESPNPC.com, you click on the Best of Bay voting, and do us a favor. Vote all the shows. Vote your favorite show. Vote just to vote, whatever it may be, but you can check that out. I've also posted it in our live show today as well. But we're in lots of categories when it comes to the entertainment and leisure. We're in DJ Event Wedding. Coach James Hale Show found his way in there. Sam Peebles of the Braves Dugout Podcast is in Event Wedding Planner, and then of course radio personalities. We got the Afternoon Underdogs. We got the Coach James Hale Show. We got the Inside Drive and Sam Peebles. So go ahead and get out there and vote. We appreciate you. You can do the same thing as well for TV personality. We make it easy there for you. Just go to ESPNPC.com. Right there on the homepage, you can click Vote for the Best of Bay. It'll take you right where you need to go. We appreciate you doing that for us. And we also appreciate our studio sponsor. That's Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor. You can vote for them in lots of categories as well. We encourage you to do that. But lots of new vehicles in stock there at the Mecca of boat and car dealerships right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. You give them a call, 850-250-1403. Jay, they make it easy and
take good care of you.
Absolutely. And it is boating season, snapper season, tarpon are running all over the place. You can even go catch a few sharks out there as well and have a good time. And if you need a boat, where you got to go?
You got to go to Kramer Marine and Outdoor.
Absolutely. KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. They're selling Seaborn, Sundance, Spider, and
Skeeter.
All right there. And if you don't have a boat and you want one, they can get it for you. If you have a boat that's not working, they can fix it for you. If you have a boat and you're tired of it, they'll sell it for you.
All the above.
Pretty much everything you need to do. And if you need a full engine repower there, you can do that as well. Yes, sir. Which is just swapping an engine.
That's all it is.
We learned about that 8 months into doing this?
Repower it.
Repower.
Yep.
I know he's was thinking about going up there.
To
Pinehurst.
Oh.
The boys were at the camp they do every summer.
Okay.
I don't know if he was going to or not. We were talking a little bit yesterday, but I said if you do, you have to come on the show next week because you got to give us, just like you did for the Masters, you got to give us that personal experience of what it was like to be up there at Pinehurst.
Yes, sir.
Too. But yeah, it's well underway, and you got any crazy? If you want to look some up, we can dive into it. But
I know there was in Griffin there was a place called Hong Kong where you got good Chinese food, and there was always cats hanging around the Hong Kong restaurant. I don't know why. It was so weird, but then they'd go missing. It's crazy. But what about a skateboarding? What about a skateboarding cat breaks speed record in China?
What kind of speed record is this cat breaking?
I don't know.
And how has this cat not been cooked?
No kidding. Skateboarding cat showed off his skills in China and earned a Guinness World Record by skateboarding a distance of 32 feet, 9 inches in just 12 and a half seconds.
Wow.
Bai Zai is the name of the American short-hair cat.
Which is ironic.
Bai Zai.
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Broke the record for the fastest 10 meters on a skateboard by a cat at the age of just 1 year and 8 months old.
Man.
I mean, just a tiny little cat.
Little baby cat.
Bai Zai's owner, professional dog trainer Li Jingtou, said his original intention when he brought a cat home was to help with the rodent problem. Makes sense. We had mice running around the ceiling at night, so I got Bai Zai to scare them away, he said. Zhang To said he soon realized Bai Zai might have talents beyond mousing. I've been training dogs for over a decade, he says, and I started skateboarding with my own dog for fun. But Bai Zai showed a keen interest in skateboarding.
Wow.
So I decided to nurture this behavior a bit, Zhang To said. He said it took about a year for the feline to master the art of skateboarding. Actually, it's quite challenging to train a cat, he says, because they don't learn things as quickly as dogs do. Now, if you cut a tail of a cat, doesn't it automatically tip over? I think I mean, I think that's the case. They use their tail as a balance.
I think you're thinking of a different animal. But
Griffin science.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tail is the balance for that cat. If you cut a cat's
I think you
tail,
might be thinking of their whiskers.
Or they're a monkey in a tail.
it may be their whiskers. I don't know. It was either the whiskers or.
I've never heard that in my entire life, which doesn't mean it's not true, but my initial reaction to that comment is that's wild, if that's the truth.
Yeah, okay.
Please don't go around cutting cats' tails off either.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't help them, especially for balance, apparently.
But he also noted, he said, dogs make improvements day by day and they remember it. But as for cats, they can learn a trick and then forget it the next second. Huh. I did not know that.
It does say that they need their tails for balance and communication. But it doesn't say anything about them tipping over.
Like, you cut the tail off, the cat just goes.
I don't know.
Fainting goats.
I've seen cats without their tails before.
And they were walking
Yeah,
on all
I
four
mean,
legs, like upright, not.
Unless I was tripping.
The cat was tripping because he didn't have his tail. I didn't know it makes sense. They use it for communication, you know?
Ryan says, my friend's toddler slammed their cat's tail in the door by accident and had to get it amputated. Still walks fine.
Okay, all right. That's fair.
Myth.
Busted.
I like it, though. I like it.
No.
That's good conversation.
That was good.
Been missing you.
Miss you too. Miss you guys.
Probably the air conditioning more than us, but I mean, you see dogs do it all the time. But is it French bulldog? One of the bulldog type dogs are really good at skateboarding. I know Rob Deerdeck's dog was
the English bulldogs.
Yeah, the English bulldogs. Yeah. They love skateboarding. I don't know why. It's in their genes.
But I mean, was this downhill where the cat just? I mean, was this cat
This is your article.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say anything about them using, his left arm or
I just
to
love
dig.
the motion that's going on.
Why is it got to be a left-handed cat? Can it be a right-handed cat?
Could be a right-handed
Do you have a
cat.
video of this on there?
There's no video.
There's no video, so we really don't know if it.
Oh, there is video.
There is. There had to
Here
be.
we go.
All right. Make sure your sound's not on. We don't need to hear the cat skateboarding.
It sounds not on.
Good.
He is.
Whoa, what is that pop-up?
Virus. Have an update.
Oh, he's using his back legs. That makes sense.
It does more
Looks like
leverage.
he's- yeah.
Fast.
Interesting stuff here.
Look at
All of our
that.
listeners on the radio are really involved. They're visualizing this cat skate. Now, what kind of skateboard was it? Was it a double lift,
Looks like one of those
regular skateboard, or
penny
was it one of the penny boards that
Penny
fly?
board. Yeah, it's very compact skateboard. But he
Perfect
uses
size for a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he uses the front edge as with his front paws, and then he uses his back legs. He's on the front edge of the
Is it
skateboard.
both back legs?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Dogs just usually use the one. Mm-hmm. Man, this is great stuff. Riveting.
It's a confident cat too. I mean,
It's been working on it for a year.
Yeah. Man, that was pretty cool.
You know what's hard to do on a skateboard?
What?
An ollie. Unless you know what you're doing.
I never understood that. I've tried and tried.
You gotta once you hit the timing, I guess you figure it out.
I don't know. I can ollie. I would still be pretty confident in my ability to ollie.
Because
Now,
you
I
gotta
don't think I'd be able to
you gotta
kickflip or
pop the
heel
one
flip
side up
anymore.
right, and then slide your other foot up
slide
and
your
push
foot
it
up.
back down, and it pops the other side up.
Yeah. You jump with it, and then
I was a rollerblader. I couldn't skateboard.
I did a little bit of rollerblading too.
See, I saw kids when I was 9 or 10 doing it, and I had to go and check and see if there was sticky stuff on their on their
didn't believe 'em.
because I didn't believe them.
Yeah,
I thought it. Yeah, I'm like, I had a Cool Cat one. You remember the Cool Cat skateboard?
Nope.
Remember that one?
Nope.
Hobie?
No, see, I didn't get into the whole. My wheels were very.
You didn't have good bearings.
Yeah, I did not have good wheels. I mean, it was a cheap Walmart skateboard.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Some of those have good bearings though.
Mine were always hand-me-downs from my rich friends.
Yep.
We're rich friends. Rich friend.
There you go.
Hey, better than not a hand-me-down.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
What was your skateboard, Ryan?
I didn't skateboard.
Yeah, you didn't. I mean, I didn't either. Really.
It's one of those things like if I couldn't do it when I was younger, I just didn't have as much patience. If I couldn't do it in 10 minutes, I was like, you know what, forget it.
Yeah.
But I did rollerblade quite a bit, obviously playing hockey, but I had some friends that aggressive skated as well.
Yeah.
You remember watching that on the X Games?
I do remember that one.
Yeah. That's tough.
I remember the roller derby thing too.
That's still kicking.
That is.
There was a good E60 or 30 for 30 on that as well. So
Yeah.
if you haven't seen that, it'd be a good one.
Sling them down the way.
You get really hurt doing roller derby.
Yeah.
That's intense. That is intense.
Yeah.
You got any more? You want me to hit one?
Yeah, hit one.
All right. I'm always living in the escaped animals world, but Cedar Point up there, I believe Cedar Point is in Michigan, maybe. It's probably going to tell us here in a second. No, Ohio. My bad. Should have just read. 2 camels escape petting zoo at Cedar Point. June 13th, visitors at Ohio's Cedar Point Amusement Park witnessed chaos unfold when a pair of camels escaped from the park's petting zoo. Park goers captured video when the camels, named Samson and Artie, great name for camels, escaped from the Barnyard Petting Zoo at the Sandusky attraction and ran through a crowd of visitors. They were coming straight at you, and the next thing we were worried about was just getting out of the way. We picked up my little sister, put her over the railing, and my dad followed suit. Justin Garcia, who captured a video of the incident, told WEWS-TV. Garcia said the camels seemed really freaked out, and I didn't know why they were didn't know what they were or why they were going or where they were going to be. He took some visitors to shelter with other petting zoo animals. There was people diving out of the way, climbing into the pen with the llamas and alpacas just to get away from them, Garcia said. Cedar Point spokesman Tony Clark confirmed the incident to Cleveland.com. Last night, 2 camels decided to take an unplanned stroll just outside their home at the Barnyard, our petting zoo area on the Frontier Trail. They were quickly returned. He wrote an email, "We're looking into how they made it into Midway." No reports of injuries for the camels' time on the loose. No reports of injuries for people. Either way, the incident earned a condemnation, imagine that, from PETA Foundation Senior Director of Captive Animal Welfare, Debbie Meltzer. No one should be surprised that distressed camels panicked and ran away, hoping to escape their near-constant chaotic barrage of excessive handling, noisy roller coasters, and screaming park goers, Meltzer said in a statement. PETA is calling on federal authorities to hold Honey Hill Farm accountable for failing to protect these frightened animals and members of the public who were endangered during their attempts to flee, and urges people everywhere to steer clear of seedy enterprises that exploit vulnerable animals.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Is that the same way you feel about the camels, Jay?
I do.
You're upset that they are at the zoo?
Yeah. I was just interesting in that. I was just looking that up. It says they can survive long periods of time without food or water.
You know why?
Why is that?
What's in the hump?
Oh, water.
Lots of water.
That hump is water?
It's got water too, doesn't it?
I think that Boston Tim, I believe, said they store water in their fat, which fat's in the humps.
Gotcha. And the fat is what they can burn too, so they don't have to eat food for a long time. That's why they're so successful in the desert.
Interesting.
They can just trek on. Not fast, but they can keep going.
Yeah, it's fatty tissue in the humps.
There you go.
Huh.
Keeps them going.
My humps.
My lovely lady
My
humps.
lovely camel humps.
Camel humps. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Those don't have water or fatty tissue.
They do have fatty tissue.
Yeah, they do got fatty tissue.
But also very important for the survival of other human beings.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Extremely.
We don't have this story, but David sent this one to me the other day, and it had to do with his, love for the the kangaroos, right?
Oh, the kangaroos.
So if I can remember this story off the top of my head, because it was more of a video than a text story.
Yeah.
But it was in Australia?
I would have to assume.
Somewhere where kangaroos just roam free. So we're going to go with Australia. But anyway, there was an older gentleman, and there was a kangaroo and I thought this was going a different direction when he first sent it to me. There's a kangaroo basically on like a sliding glass door, and his claws are out on the door.
I had no clue that their claws were this big.
They're like that long a piece.
Gee.
I was kind of scared of kangaroos before, but after seeing that, they typically punch, but it sounds like they could claw you like a velociraptor too. But anyway, so he's up there. I thought it was like the kangaroo's going to break into this guy's house and just maul him because David's trying to figure out a way to get a kangaroo. But that wasn't.
Not no more.
Nope. Let's back up the story.
Maybe even more so.
Maybe
now,
even more
brother.
so
But
now.
slow your roll,
Okay.
So, and David, correct me or add to if I'm not recalling this correctly, but the kangaroo basically is just trying to get this guy's attention. So the guy goes over, he goes out, the kangaroo leads the gentleman to another one of his roo friends. I don't know if it's a brother, a son.
A Joey.
It's a Joey, so it was a younger kangaroo. Who knows who it was related to? It might have just been a buddy that they picked up, that somebody else abandoned. Anyway, was stuck. The kangaroo led the gentleman to it. The guy it was like a little ditch thing that the Joey kangaroo was stuck in, pulls it out, brings it to safety, and then it kind of flash forwards it to a future time where all the roos kind of showed up at the guy's house, and the one kangaroo was giving him a hug. And
all of them did. They would like take turns giving the guy
They
a
all
hug.
showed up on his like front door, like thanking him. It was unbelievable.
And they come back like every day now.
Yeah, and then they go on walks every morning together.
This is crazy.
I know.
I'm moving to Australia tomorrow. I hope you guys got someone to run the board, but yeah.
Shoot, we'll just go.
The taxes high there?
What's that?
Are the taxes high?
I'm not going for financial side.
I think Australia is a little dicey when it comes to that. But yeah, I mean, or we just file for the permit, We each file for one. That's 3 right there.
Right.
And if you get one that's a female and he gets one that's a male, we can have future roos.
Yeah.
Future roos.
That would be amazing.
Mama roos. But they're also, you got to be careful too. So this is we've talked about the fighting side of the roos and how they can, walk up and just pop you in the back of the head and it's going to hurt. But they're also obviously very appreciative and very close to the human community over there in Australia.
You got to talk positive if you're going to talk negative about them as well, right?
Yeah.
Show both sides.
We
of the
can't.
room.
Yeah, we can't. I mean, it's like I just, the fact it was just really cool. It was a cool story.
that is cool.
And like to feel like they have the same emotions and feelings, and they were just thankful that somebody helped save their friend.
Right.
Because the little baby kangaroo was like face first down in
Yeah, but probably was going to die. But they went, and I wonder why they chose this guy. Might have been more to the story.
I mean, they probably hop around, check people out who's got a loving heart, who
They can sense it.
I do. Right? Like animals do got pretty good intuition.
100%.
Dogs do anyways, right? Cats are the same way. Like they'll come and give you loving if they feel like you're, not going to throw them around or whatever.
I may have said this the other day.
I don't know.
But
you haven't been here much.
Yeah, I haven't been here. But I've got a 9-month-old golden retriever.
We know.
And
Beautiful golden retriever. Sailor.
Yeah, and I've heard her bark maybe twice. And maybe her first bark and then her second bark. There were 2 huskies at my apartment complex going free. Like there was nobody around. I thought they were coyotes for a minute. I really did.
We got them around here.
Yeah,
you gotta be careful.
But they look a little bit different.
Slightly different than huskies.
I don't know, but all of a sudden I heard her bark, and I'm like, something's not right down there.
Yeah.
Like I know. So that instinct that animal instinct is amazing.
Yeah.
We have it too. We just let kind of the world and outside influences get in the way of it.
Right. Yeah.
Like people with broken bones when the weather's coming in.
Yeah.
True.
Feel that pressure build up.
I can feel it.
I mean, I remember when my mom used to say that, like, oh, I know it's about to rain. How do you know it's about to rain? I can feel it in my bones. Like, no, you can't. Then, like, I've got a few broken bones around the old body, and it's like, yeah. When it started to rain, like, you could feel that pressure start to build up.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. But, that was a great Roo story.
No doubt.
And now that he sends me Roo stories, now how when you watch certain videos, now I'm getting more kangaroo videos every day, which is fine. I like a good kangaroo video.
Hey, hopefully you get some more of those orca stories because those things have been wild too, man. Not just the ones like swimming around here, but you're just seeing them attack sharks and whatnot.
Did you see the great white shark that washed up in Navarre?
Yeah,
dead?
I did. Look, you said something about like maybe that was a killer. Well, maybe it bullied him to that point because it didn't look like he had any bite marks.
No.
But the belly was all pink. That was wild.
It was weird. Maybe something. But and who knows? Maybe the orcas have something to do with everything that's been going on. There's been some craziness.
I don't know if maybe, there's like some type of frequencies in the water right now that are, affecting these fish. Because I don't know where it was, but a lot of locals were sharing it yesterday where you had a whole bunch of bait fish, some skates, some stingrays,
all washed up. We're right there at the
flounders.
Yeah, flounders were like, that was nuts.
Yeah, people were picking them up. They were very sluggish. It's almost like red tide without, you're seeing
without
them all
the
way
bacteria.
washed up. So something is going on, but it's still, nature. It's going to be hard to figure out.
Well, and there's nature. Lots of different stuff happens in nature that we can't explain. That's for sure.
Well, and the more that you have technology out there trying to mess with nature to be able to manipulate it, you're also going to get wonky things happening.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there.
There's some crazy conspiracy theories coming out of Antarctica right now with some man-made ocean temperature changing. But that's neither here nor there. We'll go ahead and take a quick break.
For tomorrow,
yes. Yeah, there you go. It's, if it's out there, you can find it. But you're listening to The Inside Drive. When we get back, Jay, we're going to have some fun and maybe call some live Pinehurst #2 U.S. Open golf. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I've been arrested 12 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not smart.
I went before the judge. I'll never forget this. Boy, I paid $700 to a lawyer that didn't do a damn thing for me.
Let's go ahead and name him right now.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Thursday. Likely thunderstorms and mostly sunshine the rest of the day with a gentle breeze around 8 miles per hour out of the south-southwest, and look for it to be 89. Tonight, it will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 77. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 93. Saturday, we'll have a high of 91 and sunshine. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Coin and Bullion Reserves. Did you know that we do more than just sell some of the finest jewelry in town? We can engrave on your wedding band, locket, Yeti cup, or almost anything. Need your watch battery changed? We can do that too. Our expert will even evaluate your coin collection. And of course, we always pay top dollar for your old gold and silver jewelry. See, there's a lot more to Tracy's Fine Jewelry than a lot of pretty sparkly things. Come and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's alive! Look alive! We're alive!
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay, we're about to take a trip up to the village of Pinehurst, North Carolina. We're going to give you some live play-by-play coverage here. Of course, it's going to a commercial here on the live coverage, but we'll jump back in. Quick leaderboard update. Patrick Cantley is in the house at -5. Great opening round of 65, followed by Ludwig Aubert with a nice 66 to get his U.S. Open. Probably, I think, his first U.S. campaign underway. Jay's boy playing his last hole, the 18th hole today, Matthew Pavon, the Frenchman, -3 through 17, and currently trying to get into the house and finish this thing up at a great start, 3 under par round. Then you got Tony Finau, -2. Willie Mack, the third, just made a birdie on his 14th hole. Started on the back nine. He's got it to -2. S.H. Kim, -1 for the day. Corey Connors, Sergio Garcia, -1. Sam Bennett, who's had some success. I believe he played for UNC and maybe won the North-South here at Pinehurst, number 2. Don't quote me on that. He's -1 with a couple to go. Aaron Rye, Davis Thompson, Zach Blair, Grayson Sigg, Grant Forrest, Chesson Hadley, Bo Hostler, Victor Perez, all -1. Currently 17 players under par with the afternoon wave just getting going, including Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy getting their campaign going. Currently, lowest amateur out there on the leaderboard is Nick Shipley. He's even par, playing his last hole today. Jay, thoughts so far on the 2024 U.S. Open?
Well, you know, Father's Day is coming up this Sunday.
That is true. Always the Sunday of the U.S. Open.
And I did hear Chick-fil-A is giving away free meals to all fathers out there.
Ooh, I might have to find my way over to their Chick-fil-A on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Yeah.
Don't
check it out.
Don't come back to us and say anything after you go try that out. But yeah, free Chick-fil-A sandwiches for fathers on Sunday.
What do you think, David?
Man, can't wait to. We're gonna meet each other there.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, sounds good, my man.
Noonish
sounds good. Noonish is a little early for me on Father's Day.
Okay.
A lot of celebrating that's getting done in my name. You know.
Well, you may be fathering a kangaroo before long, so I mean, you know.
Hopefully not biologically.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if anything seems to be possible nowadays.
It's all about identity, man.
There you go. There you go. You know, just find somebody that identifies as a kangaroo, and boom, you got Roo babies. What do they call a Joey?
A Joey. Yeah.
Joey.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna name it.
A marsupial.
I don't even know what is that.
That's like the type of animal.
Marsupial.
That Griffin, Georgia.
What do we got? What kind of marsupials do we have here in the States? The possum?
Got a possum.
Do we have platypuses here? That'd be such a cool animal.
I know we have them in zoos, but are they native to North America? That I don't
Probably
know.
not as much as a kangaroo.
All right, our commercial break is over, and we're back to live coverage. Scotty Scheffler on his first hole of the day. He's got what, Jay? Looks like about a 50-foot birdie putt there. Gets the putter back, rolls it. It's got a little speed. Great touch there by Scotty. Looks like he's got, I think he started on is that number 1, or did he start on number 10? Number 10, just an absolutely brutal par 5, 617 yards. Looks like another person on the first tee here at Pinehurst, number 2, getting ready to start their day. That looks like the left-hander from the University of Georgia.
Brian Harman, the 2023 champion golfer of the year, winning the Open Championship pretty heftily as well. Not having as quite a great season this year, but can turn that around with a great showing here at the U.S. Open. Get ready to start his round. First hole here at Pinehurst, kind of eases you into your round of golf, and then obviously that green complex is brutal. Had a chance to play this back when I was younger. It was the coldest round of golf I ever played. It was misting that day, and it was so cold that ice was forming on our irons. But you know what? Gosh. We were going to play Pinehurst number 2. So Brian Harman looks like he's at fairway metal, Jay? Is that number 10, Ryan?
No, this is number 1. We've already said that.
Oh, sorry.
But that's okay. That's what we're here to commentate for. Takes the club back, gets his round underway, heading down the left side of the fairway, drawing back a little bit there. Looks like a great opening tee shot for Brian Harman to get his round underway. But the teeth of the golf course really isn't in the fairways. Pretty wide, generous fairways here for a U.S. Open, but it's the green complexes that can really get you into trouble. Who do we have here going off behind him? That looks like your boy Nick Dunlap, the 2023 U.S. Amateur Champion, and won a tournament earlier this year as well. I know you're a big Nick Dunlap fan. What do you think he's going to do here? It looks like is he taking a fairway metal hybrid here off number 1? One of the shorter holes on the golf course.
He's going with an iron.
If you were playing, Jay, what would you rather start on? A shorter, quote unquote, I hate to use the word easy anytime here at Pinehurst, on number 1 is the par 4, or would you rather start on the big par 5 10th, where a birdie opportunity seems more likely?
I would like to start with a par 5. Yeah, get a little more risky. I can potentially make eagle. Get driver 3-wood out there if it's 550.
There you go. Dunlap gets his round underway, iron off the tee. Great tee shot right in the center of the fairway, setting himself with a great opportunity to and you saw a lot of birdies on the first hole, including Parker Bell started the U.S. Open first group off, made the first birdie of the tournament, and now it's one of your faves here, Wyndham Clark. I believe you picked him in your pick'em. He's the defending U.S. Open champion, as he outlasted Ricky Fowler last year over there where?
In Los Angeles, the City of Angels.
The City of... Yes. I thought you were going to say the Angelic City or whatever you said yesterday. That was even better. But Wyndham Clark also going with an iron off the tee. I think the fairways are playing a little firm and fast. What do you think, Jay?
They are, yeah. He's in his white top, navy bottoms.
Just classic look there. White shoes looking good. Little sawed-off swing there. It's curving a little bit. Staying looks like he's going to miss the fairway. Nothing worse, Jay, than taking an iron off the tee. Almost takes down one of the gallery guards there.
Yikes.
Looks like was she trying to dodge it? Did she get hit? That was
doing a Scheffler 2-step.
There we go. We got to watch out for the cops over there. You might get hit. Here we are back on the green. Xander Schauffele with about a 25-foot birdie putt up the hill to that front left hole location. Buzzes it by just on the low side. That's what makes the U.S. Open tough there, Jay. That ball, most likely on other places would have stopped a couple feet from the hole, but just rolled out. Rory to get off to a hot start here if he can make this putt. Only about 15 feet up the hill. Looks like it's breaking a little left to right. Gets the ball on line. Broke to the right there by the cup. I think he's surprised as well. That would have been a great start to his 24 Open campaign. But he'll make a nice, easy par to start the day. It's your boy. I'll let you call this one.
He's got a little tap-in putt. Is that for par?
That was for par to finish a nice opening 67 for the Frenchman. Apparently more concerned about protecting the skin than being cool, as he is wearing a long sleeve compression or whatever we'll call it underneath there. All right, Xander Schauffele to clean up par about 3.5, 4 feet, a little longer than he probably liked for his first par putt of the tournament. Takes the putter back, rolls it in. That's a nice par there for Xander to finish up his first first hole. Moving on to the more challenging, much longer second hole here momentarily. Just a great look over there at overhead of Pinehurst number 2, redesigned in 2011 by the Core and Crenshaw Group to bring it back to its original Donald Ross design. You got a lot of wiregrass. There's no rough here anymore at Pinehurst number 2, and Ludwig Aubert now going in an interview. So we'll talk a little bit about, which Pinehurst did you like better? Did you like the 1999, 2005 Pinehurst with thicker rough, more lush fairways, not as penal, so to speak, as I think the golf course is now? Green complex is obviously very, very challenging.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of not having a lot of rough. I want to see the rough. I want to see them be penalized. What
do you think's more penalizing? Longer rough or hitting into this wiregrass where you could literally have a big tuft of this stuff right in front of your ball and you don't know what it's going to do?
That's true. I mean, there's going to be some unplayables out of some of this thick wire grass, if you will. But yeah, I mean, I would think that would be tougher to hit out of than maybe a 3 or 4 inch thick rough. But yeah, it's not consistent. I can tell you that.
No doubt about it. And one other thing, you're seeing a lot more golf courses, in order to have that thick rough, that lush fairway, you've got to use a lot of water. Yeah. And, the original design of golf courses, especially over there, across the pond, as you would say, is, they've got single row irrigation down the middle, irrigation by the greens, but that's it. Mm-hmm. Everything else is just very natural. Obviously, it's a lot more cost effective, environmentally effective, but, they redesigned Pinehurst back in, what's crazy to believe it's been that long now since they did the big redesign. But your boy Ludwig Aubert with a great opening round, his lowest score in a major so far with a 66. Young to majors, this is his first year as a professional on tour. He played in the Ryder Cup, the winning. Yeah, look at that. Fairways, Jay. Talk about that a little bit. 14 out of 14, 16 out of 18 greens. That's how you score well on an extremely difficult golf course.
And less than 30 putts. And that's the key. If you can get less than 30 putts on these greens right here, you got a chance at winning.
Absolutely. Great opening round there. Now to number 2. Great tee shot here. You got to be careful it doesn't go too far down the right side. Long hole, Xander Schauffele taking out the driver, splitting the fairway here on number 2. Great shot. Gives himself a great opportunity to hit it into the green. Very, very difficult green here on number 2. Not many spots you can hold the green, and we'll see how he does on his way in. Looks like they're kind of following this group around because number 1 in the world, Scotty Scheffler, who's been on an absolute tear, starting to threaten one of the best streaks or best seasons of golf that we've ever seen. Made a nice par on number 1, but here he is teeing off on the second hole, playing 508 yards today. Looks like the wind's coming a little bit off the right, 7-8 miles an hour, not really impacting too much. Scotty with his normal feet shuffle slide there, takes the club back, brings it through. Ooh, looked a little quick in the downswing there, kind of spun out of it, blocked it way right, and he is in the wiregrass. It's all going to depend on that lie, Jay Henley. We can't really see the ball from there, but that's one of those things. You miss the fairways, it may add up quick.
Scotty got a haircut recently. It looks like that's probably not good.
He always does the shuffle with his feet, but just looked a little quick in that transition on the way down, leading to sliding that club out a little bit. But if anybody can recover and know what to do, it's certainly Scotty Scheffler. And again, if he does not win the tournament this week, it's because I bet on him for the first time ever to win, and that's just how it seems to go. But Scotty Scheffler out on the golf course, even through 1, now walking through the second fairway. And they're showing, I can't hear the commentary because we are the commentary, but it looks like they're talking about his cleats a little bit there, and obviously tight known fairways and tee boxes. Here we are to Nick Dunlap with his second shot after a nice tee shot with an iron. 163 left on the 400-yard opening hole here at the U.S. Open. Little sawed off, nice comfortable tempo. He's holding that club up, maybe just a little left of the flag. Oh, great shot. Ooh. Almost knocks it in the hole. Great start for Nick Dunlap here at the 2024 U.S. Open, the 1,000th USGA championship in the history of the United States Golf Association. Grayson Sigg up on number 12, trying to make a short birdie putt here to get it to 2 under par. Rolls the ball up the hill right in the middle of the hole. Grayson Sigg moves to 2 under par just through 3 holes starting on the back 9. Kind of like what you were saying, started on the par 5, got himself a birdie, and he's moving right along. Wyndham Clark missed the fairway on number 1 on the left side. He's got 146 over there in the wiregrass. Looks like a pretty clean lie. Came out nicely. Looks like maybe it's moving a little right and long. Good shot there, safe. But there's Pinehurst in a nutshell, Jay Henley. That thing hits middle of the green, and it's going to end up about 15, maybe 20 feet off the right side of the green. That's going to be a delicate chip coming back because there's not a lot of room on the other side of that on that hole. But, a lot of great start for some of these guys. And, what do you expect the winning score to be as we come down the stretch here on Sunday?
I noticed that the wind, there's very little wind right now. If the wind kicks up, that's going to dry these greens out even more. We may be looking at a 14, 15 stent meter, which would be off the chart.
Be scary.
Would be scary.
It's scary as it is.
But let's throw in the wind. I think it's like a 2 or 3 over, victory. I think if the wind stays calm, these guys may eat it up a little bit and maybe go 6 or 7 under.
There you go. Yeah. Patrick Cantlay, they're interviewing him right now on national TV. Shot a nice 5 under par round. Just easy peasy, gets out there, takes his time. He's notably a little bit one of the more slower players there on the golf course. But, great opening round for Patrick Cantlay there. What are, looking at the leaderboard, who are some of the names that you're a little bit surprised at that are up there so far?
Let's take a look. I mean, Cantlay, Oberg, is that the way? Yeah. Pavone. I mean, I picked him, but I'll be honest, he hasn't played much great golf in the last year. I mean, that's an interesting one at the top of the leaderboard.
I think one of the more surprising ones for me is seeing Sergio Garcia's name up there at -1. Yep. Again, it's early. It's round 1. That's why it's a 3-round tournament, but a great start. I mean, you can't win the tournament in the first round, but you can certainly lose the tournament in the first round. A little different style than Aubert for Cantlay, only hitting 9 out of 14 fairways, and I think he hit 13 out of 18 greens. Your boy Victor Hovland, not off to the greatest start, but he can get one back here.
That's Gary Woodland.
Oh, that's Gary Woodland.
Yeah.
My bad. Look at Gary, former U.S. Open winner at Pebble Beach when Dustin Johnson had that big lead and kind of collapsed in the final round. Gary Woodland back to 2 over par for the tournament. Here we are up to Wyndham Clark. We mentioned just a few minutes ago that he had missed the green to the right. So now you can see him working with his caddy, deciding which club to use. Looks like he went with a little less loft.
It does, but if you look at this
downhill lie,
but at the end of the green, it just falls off the world. Did you just see that, right?
That's what I'm saying. If he rolls this even slightly, if it's got any speed going towards that hole, this thing could be across the other side, and he's going to have to struggle to get up and down for bogey. And this is Pinehurst in a nutshell. This is what you're looking to do. He chips it up on the green. It's got some speed. And, wonderful touch there from Wyndham Clark. Leaves it about 1.5 feet away, and that could have easily got away from him. And, I mean, look how far he's walking up the hill to get to this green complex.
These guys are too good.
It's just wild stuff there, that's for sure. Last 5 U.S. Opens, 2029, like I mentioned, 2019, Gary Woodland, Bryson DeChambeau, one up at Wingfoot, John Rahm in 2021, Matt Fitz 2 years ago, and then last year in the City of Angels, your boy Wyndham Clark outlasted Ricky Fowler. But hey, we're off to a good start here. This is what let's see. Scotty Scheffler, Keith Fleming, one of our guests all the time here on the Inside Drive on Wednesdays, mentioned he's got the bounce back ability, probably the best. And they zoomed in on that lie here in the waist area where they just kind of let it grow. Looks like he's got a pretty clean lie, but you just never know how the ball is going to come out of these things, and that's why hitting the fairway is a premium here at Pinehurst number 2. 195 yards in on hole number 2, takes the club back. Looks like his footing was pretty good. Got a good contact out of there. He's watching it come up, and nice shot there. Ooh, hang on. Uh-oh. Look at that. That's Pinehurst in a nutshell. That thing landed, short of the pin. Is about 25 feet left. Rolls all the way off the green to the back, and that, Jay, is why you got to hit the fairway, because when you're hitting out of those areas, you just don't have quite as much spin, but you got to commit to those shots. Great ball contact, solid ball contact, but he could have been, if you're behind one of those tufts with wiregrass, you're going to have to pop back out in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
Here we are from the middle of the fairway. Xander Schauffele, 193 yards into the second hole. Probably, I'm going to guess, a 7-iron on this one. Taking the club back. Flag's kind of middle right here on the green. Not a lot of room for error. I don't know. It looks like it's curving a little bit to the right. Is that going to hang on? It does. Great shot by Xander Schauffele. He's going to leave himself, about 5 feet for, even less than that. Kept getting better as it got closer, and that's why knowing these greens is a huge part of it. That's going to end our live coverage here of the U.S. Open Championship, as we got to make some other stuff happen, Jay. We got to give away a little prize package, another opportunity for some people to win some cool stuff and a ticket. David, give me the cue. All right, it's the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off from ESPN Northwest Florida. We've been doing it since last Monday. You've got today and tomorrow here on the Inside Drive, and you've got more opportunities on the Coach James Hale Show in the afternoon underdogs. But if you are our 10th caller, you'll automatically win our sweet qualifying prize today and be entered to win the all-inclusive trip to experience the Atlanta Braves play the Toronto Blue Jays Saturday, September 7th. Includes hotel, spending cash, food and beverage at the game, and amazing seats at the Xfinity Club. You can qualify as many times as you want, but it's getting down to the wire here. PCB Hobby, Fairfield Inn, Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive, and Home 2 Suites. We appreciate you sponsoring the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off. We'll be right back with our 10th caller.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, LS Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging. Strike 3.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
The locals love him.
You're gonna love this. You are my favorite. It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is how we do it.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We've got our 10th caller on the line, and he's pretty much becoming family at this point, as I think it is his 5th qualifying time. But hey, when you play the game aggressively, it gives you a better shot there. Matt, how are you doing today? Long time no speak.
Yeah, going good.
Excellent. Got you back in. Got another qualifying. Of course, Monday we'll be giving it away, but you got a lot of opportunities, and it just goes to show you if you're just aggressive and make stuff happen, it'd be good. Atlanta Braves are currently leading in their game 2-0. They need a win desperately. I know we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but what do you think they need to do to turn this season around? Obviously, a lot of injuries early, some season-ending injuries, but that's part of sports, and you got to overcome it. What can they do to really get the bats going?
That's the thing. They need to get the bats going. They got to get, we've had people on, but getting them home has been the problem. But, yeah, we got runners on first and second right now, so no outs.
No outs. Yeah, absolutely. We desperately need a win and just need to kind of slowly turn this thing around. It's a long season, thank goodness. Pivoting away from the Braves, are you a golfer or a golf fan in any stretch of the imagination?
Not really. No golf.
That's okay.
What kind of sports do you like to watch, Matt?
Football, baseball, basketball.
There you go. Did you watch that Boston game last night? Did you watch that Boston game last night?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched. Yeah.
Do you think Dallas has got a chance to come back and win at least one going into this game 4?
I I mean, possibly. I mean, they hung close. I mean, they made a run at the very end last night, but it's really it's up to Luka and Kyrie.
There you go.
Definitely. And Luka, I think we talked a lot about at length in the beginning of the show. Luka he's going to have to, start turning his attitude around a little bit. Obviously, an unbelievable player, but, you've got more responsibility to your team. And it's just one of those things. At some point, you've got to just look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, I need to change a little bit on how I'm reacting to things because I'm the leader of this team and they see everything I do. And, I got to set a better example. But
absolutely. Yeah, he's got to mature.
Definitely. And he's young, and he's been doing this for a while, and I think this is his first NBA Finals, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of times you got to get there and lose before you can learn how to win. No doubt about it. And like you've got a lot of chances to win the 7-year send-off. So again, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you calling in, and I know there's another opportunity this afternoon and 3 more tomorrow. So who knows? Maybe you'll get another one. We appreciate you listening to ESPN Northwest Florida.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. Take care, Matt. Congratulations on another qualifying prize. Might as well just, I don't know if he's coming in one day at a time, but he might as well just wait because he may have some more come the next next day or so. That's
piling up in the back.
Piling up in the back, indeed. Speaking of 2-0 deficits, I'll talk to both of you on this one, Jay. We'll get your thought. Florida Panthers, Edmonton Oilers. The Florida Panthers have only allowed 1 goal to the Edmonton Oilers. High-powered offense in 2 games. Edmonton really didn't have hardly any shots in Game 2. Had a ton of shots in Game 1, but couldn't get one past Bob's. I think the only way the Oilers kind of flip this thing around is they find a way, obviously, to get more scoring chances, more opportunities, but they got to get past that Florida Panthers defense and get past Sergei Bobrovsky in order to have a shot in this series. What do you think?
I got nothing, Ryan.
Not surprised. Not surprised. D. Hayes, hockey's a little different than basketball. Edmonton Oilers got a chance. The hockey's the one sport that, it happened once in baseball, but hockey's the one sport where you've had multiple comebacks from a 3-0 deficit. It's only 2-0 right now. They're going home to Edmonton. Those fans up there have been waiting for this. They haven't been in a cup final in a long time. Edmonton, obviously, they got to find a way to score. You think they change the storyline tonight, or Florida clamp down even more and take a commanding 3-0 series lead?
I'm gonna have to go with Jay here. I don't know, Ryan. I don't know. Back to you.
All right. Well, we're just gonna end the show early then, because that's all I got.
I think that obviously Edmonton needs this game more, and they've got the finesse. I want to go out on a limb with a little hot take and says whoever scores first is going to end up winning the game tonight. However,
didn't happen last game.
That's the thing is I feel like it's not even about who scores first. It's if Florida scores, watch out. Because they find this momentum from somewhere deep inside, and then they turn it up another level defensively. They out-physical you. We saw in Game 1, Edmonton got plenty of shots off. Bob stopped them all. Then in Game 2, Edmonton scored first, but then Florida just shut them down, and they weren't able to put any more shots on goal at that point. So I think that Florida's just too physical. However, will the travel be a factor here when they're going all the way from Florida back to Edmonton? Edmonton, better finesse, as Caveman Rick points out all the time. The sheet of ice there in Edmonton is it showcases skill more so than the humidity does down there in Florida.
Cheaper ice in Canada. It's a little easier to keep it cold.
Oh, yeah. I guess
your electric bill.
There you go. There you go.
A little crazy.
Electricity runs it all.
It does. The grid, so to speak. What's crazy is the last regulation loss for the Florida Panthers, David, was back on Tuesday, May 14th in what was Game 5 against the Boston Bruins. That was a 2-1 loss. They lost twice against the Rangers, both in overtime. They've won their last 5 straight games and have won their last 6 out of 9. So just playing great hockey, suffocating hockey, and I think it's going to take a lot for the Edmonton Oilers to win this one. But I think they have to. I mean, this is a very, very bold assumption. They have to win this game to have a shot at the series. You do not want to go down 3-1. But ESPN Bet's got the Edmonton Oilers currently a favorite at -135. Florida Panthers plus 115. That may be some great value if you're a hockey bettor out there. Over/under is 5.5 goals. So far, the series has been not as high scoring. If 5.5 was the in all these games so far, you would only only you would have not hit the over, and you would have not hit an over in their last several games. So the under may be a good bet in that one, as it is the favorite in there, minus 125, over plus 105, and then the spread minus 1.5 goals for the Edmonton Oilers is plus 180, where Florida is minus 235 with 1.5. So ESPN Bet and Vegas think that this is going to be another close game, heavily defensive game, that's for sure. But
has there been some good fights in this series?
Once you get into the Stanley Cup Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals, you'll see some tussles, but you're not going to see as many as of the big time fights, because you don't want to jeopardize with a potential ejection or something like that. The fighting has gotten less and less. Now, granted, are they going to play really tough and a lot of scrums in front of the net and different things? Yeah, absolutely. And last game you saw that what was ended up being called a kneeing 5-minute major and giving him the gate. David, I don't know. I haven't researched this yet. Is Barkov playing tonight?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He will be going tonight. And actually, you can go back to, there's been some scraps in the Stanley Cup Finals, but I think a lot of hockey fans would say that the last legitimate fight in the Stanley Cup Finals was in 2004 between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Calgary Flames, Vincent Lecavalier versus Jerome Iginla.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
Now, here's a question for you. When they fight, does suspensions go into the next game, or is that pretty much at the end of the game, like it's a fresh start for the next game?
Typically, most fights are just a 5-minute penalty.
That's it.
Yep. And it's offsetting 5-minute majors, and you don't lose anybody on the ice. You still play 5-on-5. Now, in the recent hockey worlds, if you end up being the instigator or something like that, you get a 10-minute misconduct sometimes. If you get a 10-minute game misconduct, you're ejected from the game, but there's not anything typically that carries on. Now, there is other incidents that you can have suspensions with, like some just really dirty plays and stuff like that. Yeah. I just remember back in the day, Ty Domi was notorious for getting some crazy suspensions for just going after headhunting people for no reason. But it's kind of hockey in a nutshell, that's for sure. That is for sure. But don't forget, we got about a few minutes left today. U.S. Open is on. We'll dive more into it tomorrow. We'll have both Aaron Bearden and Alan Sandage, who just arrived up there at Pinehurst number 2. He said the media tents aren't too filled up there, so I think he's going to have a big time and a lot of fun. His first ever golf tournament to go to. He's got media credentials, and it's the U.S. Open at Pinehurst number 2. But also, don't forget, Jay, what do we got to get people to do?
Vote.
Best of Bay. You can go to ESPNPC.com. You can look at the comments on this live show and just go ahead and vote. Vote for any of the shows. We're in multiple categories. It's easy to get to, ESPNPC.com. Do me a favor, too, while you're out there. Go search services, people, and services business, real estate company, real estate agent, Beach House Sales Development, and Beth Mulvey as well. Tomorrow's the final day of this week's junior camp, right?
It is,
But that includes a fun little pizza party at the end, right?
Yep, sure enough. We're going to end it with a camp MVP award and a team MVP award. And, I always get these kids to come up with a team name for the week, and boy, I get some doozies.
What did it end up being this week?
Hold on one second.
You got it with it's in his binder.
It's in the portfolio.
You wrote something down besides number 1.
Michael went to go grab my portfolio earlier, and he's like, Can I open it and write in it? I was like, do you think I'm part of the mafia or something?
Well, he just knows that there's not a lot of typical writing that goes in there, so he's like, is it okay to write in the portfolio?
I got T-Tanks as one.
T-Tank. Oh, that's like that's a pun off of hitting tanks. That's what all the kids call it now. Hitting home runs is hitting a tank.
Thank you. Okay, T-Tanks.
440 to over the middle tank.
Skyrockets. That's another team.
Ooh, in flight.
Ping
Afternoon
pong.
delay.
That's it. Ping pong is the third one.
Ping pong.
Yeah.
You don't want to be playing ping pong while you're playing golf.
That's right.
Going back and forth is not necessarily a good thing.
Right. And the Jamichaelsteins.
The Jamichaelsteins.
Yeah. For some reason, Michael Shears has come up with all the kids call him Jim Michael for whatever reason.
Interesting.
But
it's like you and his name combined.
Oh, it kind of, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
It's okay. That's what we're here for.
Just thinking Jim Michael. Yeah. But anyways, who's in the lead? The Skyrockets, man. They're out to 53 points right now in camp, and I think they got this thing kind of covered.
1 day left. More competition tomorrow?
More competition tomorh.
What's tomorrow's competition look like?
We're going to do, we've been playing tic-tac-toe. We've been hitting, we drew Dustin was kind enough to allow me to draw a big circle right by the bunker. So they got a point for every time they hit it inside that big circle.
Nice.
Out of the sand.
I like this. This is good. Competition makes you better.
It does. And then you team them up, and, you might have one kid that doesn't play a lot of golf, and you try to pair them up with a good, 8-year-old or a talented 8-year-old, and they kind of learn that way too. So
Absolutely.
It's done a lot of putting on the green this week. It's been try to hit everything. They actually went out on the golf course this morning, played a few holes.
Nice.
So it was cool. It's been a good week.
And I like, too, we get caught up so much in golf, and especially with instruction of, hitting drivers, hitting irons on the range and all that. But I see your focus has been a lot of short game and putting. And, you build that foundation, the rest of the game can come. But if you learn how to drive and hit irons without the short game behind it, that's where golf can be really challenging.
Yes. And we've created some good drills for balance for the kids this week. Because, when you see kids hit golf balls, their knees and feet and body are moving all over the place typically. And if you can quiet down a lot of that, man, they really do hit the ball pretty good.
Definitely working on their rhythm too.
Rhythm and balance.
Yeah. Your next T-shirt has to have that on there.
It does. I gotta move towards that.
Yeah, rhythm will get you.
Never had it, but I'm striving.
You got it. No. We're waiting for you to come back on another Friday. I know we won't have you next Friday, but maybe the Friday after next you'll be back. And I know one of our listeners wants to come in and jam out guitar with you as well. So
that will be fun.
I'll just sit over here and listen and let you guys play guitar.
Yes, sir.
That'll be some good stuff.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
And next week you got the younger kids again, or
younger kids again next week, and then we'll finish up camp at Bay Point July 9th through the 13th with ages 11 to 14.
And there's still a couple open spots in that one.
There's like one.
Okay. So if you're looking for to get in there one more time before the summer camps end, there's your opportunity to do it. That's for sure. And your opportunity to get into the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off. Matt has been rocking and rolling in this. You got that coming up, the afternoon underdogs. No Braves game tonight. It's going on as we speak. So 5:40 will be your next opportunity. And then, of course, tomorrow, the Coach James Hale Show, 7:40, 12:40 right here on the Inside Drive. And last but not least, one more opportunity tomorrow afternoon at 5:40 to get into the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off. We appreciate everybody listening and making that stuff happen. Jay, great to have you in most of the day today. And I guess we'll see you on Monday, huh?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Y'all have a great weekend.
Matthew Pavone, maybe he can get it done.
Let's go, Matthew.
You're listening to the Inside Drive. Go vote. We'll see you tomorrow.
For 7 years, ESPN Northwest Florida has been your destination on the Panhandle for the Atlanta Braves.
He just blew the doors off that thing.
But our listeners are the real MVP.
Another dominant